AKA Miss Pickle.
That's the one.
Miss Pickle herself.
No, I haven't claimed that, so that will bust him up because I'm like, he's like, how come you haven't changed your Instagram to Miss Pickle? I'm like, but I'm not. That's your thing.
Dude, that is fun.
Oh my god, that would like.
That's our pre-intro clip right there.
Yeah.
Miss Pickle herself.
Miss Pickle herself.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, the podcast where we like to normalize checking in on your homies. If you like what we do, please follow, like, and subscribe. It helps. I'm Mike. That is also Mike. Did I say 154?
Yes.
You did now.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Episode 154. Today we have an awesome guest. Probably our first follower of the podcast. So we finally have her on. Our friend, however you know her, Andrea, or Miss Pickle. So thank you for coming
Thank you for having me.
hanging out with us.
This is 153 episodes in the works.
I know.
I genuinely think you were the first person that was like, hey, I've listened to the show. And then the first person that was like, yeah, if you guys ever want a female guest, you should let me know. And we're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And then now, how many years later, it's finally happening.
Then we had to get your husband on instead.
Yeah, your husband on first.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, best for last then.
But like we said, it's better that you came in now when we finally have a comfortable seating position, so you don't have to sit
so
like Justin did and just
It was so awkward. Me between.
just sandwiched in between us in this awkward.
A lot of growth on this podcast. Dude, some of those episodes are funny to watch, like look back on. It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Big old mic in the middle of us.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
But like even episodes with like Martin sitting in the middle of us, or we like you and I would have to like lean around people to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is much nicer. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is officially the time when we ask you and Justin's story from your perspective, like how you met Justin. And I promised that this whole episode is not going to be about him.
No, it's fine.
We're going to set some history here.
Well, we've been going to school together since junior high. Yeah. So, but it's crazy because his little brother and my little sister were best friends all through elementary school, and we didn't know each other.
Oh shit.
And then junior high happened. I always saw him, was like, oh, he's cute, whatever, but never knew who he was. And then in high school, I finally learned his name from my girlfriend who had a big old crush on him. I was like, oh, that's Justin Pecan. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's cute, whatever. Junior year, I started dating one of his buddies, and we got introduced at a barbecue. He drove me drunk to the CIF game. and so Justin, he was Christian boy, like he was the leadership of Christian.
What?
Yes, all through high school.
I did not know this.
Yes, so that's what I knew him of and saw him. He had a girlfriend from freshman year all the way to his senior year, and we had those little booklets for prom and stuff, and you see everyone's picture, and I always see, I'm like, God, you could do so much better. And so, so we got introduced at that barbecue, but I was dating his friend at the time. Mm-hmm. And after high school, him and that buddy, they moved to Santa Barbara together. And me and the buddy would still talk every once in a while. And he'd always tell me, oh, come to Santa Barbara, but never did. Right. Didn't happen. And then we ran into each other at a bar at the Orange Circle called the District. I was newly single and was in a pretty bad relationship and barely turned 21. So I was like drinking, having a great time. Finally able to do my own thing. And he was there with a few friends, and we said hi to each other. Hey, cut up real quick, and then towards the end of the night, I was feeling good. It was a good time. And he was leaning against a table, and I ran by and grabbed his ass and kept running. And then he started following me. He's like, hey, you grab my ass, I grab yours. Grabbed my butt, and he's like, can I have your number? And yeah, that was it.
Very Christian leadership of him.
Yeah, right? Well, little did I know, after high school, he kind of dropped off in that scene and was touring and stuff, and had a good time within those little couple years.
The bitterness on your face
No.
tells the story.
No.
He was practicing.
Right.
For when he met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, and like a week later, he had texted me or called me or whatever. He's like, hey, I'm having this 4th of July party. You gotta come out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Nope. He did. He threw a party just to have me there, but I didn't show up.
And you didn't go?
I got too drunk at the bar.
No.
So don't feel bad for him.
So
he's
you're-
not a good time at his party, okay?
You're
So don't
coming
feel
up
bad.
on an anniversary in like a couple
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
you just
Could've
standing him up at his party.
I know. Luckily, he called me again. We had our first date and been together ever since.
Nice.
Dang, when was that?
We're going to be coming up 19 years.
That's a long time.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
Wait, so 19 years together, and then how long you guys been married?
17, coming up 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool position to have you on, because like you can give a perspective for like being in a relationship with somebody who's in a band who you don't play music yourself, right? So that mentality, like what was that first, like how did you know that you would be able to handle touring and being gone and all this shit that comes with it?
A Justin in a band.
Yeah.
Well, so...
And was that a deciding factor in you guys' relationship?
Like, did I want to,
Yeah.
like, pursue it? Yeah, it was fine. Like, I liked seeing him up there. It was pretty cool. But right when we started dating, like, maybe 4 months after, that's when he... knockout let him go. So the touring and all that stuff ended.
Right.
And then he took a big break before he started going back with Eva Destruction and stuff. So while we were beginning dating, I didn't have to deal with any of that, of him touring and everything.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so it'd been like a year or two before like all the other band stuff started happening.
Okay.
So
Cool.
but I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew who he was, and we had both been out of bad relationships, and so our first date, it was just crazy because it was like so parallel of like where we were at, and we were like, okay, we're not here to fuck around, we're here to like really connect and stuff, and we were just on the same page from day one, so it was really easy. Yeah. And so I knew he wasn't the type to mess around if he was to go on tour and stuff.
Okay.
And I was probably thinking you would kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. You would murder.
Yeah.
And then what was it like when he did start playing more and now you guys have a family?
Hard. Very, very hard. I mean, we've had our rough spots, obviously, being together 19 years. There's ups and downs. And we had a really bad, rough part when we had our last kid, Hayden. We actually had, like, a little separation at that time. Well, a little bit after. Like, he was going through a lot with work, and he was just totally going into the band and kind of left me with 3 kids. And so that was really rough. That was a really bad spot. We just weren't connecting at that moment. Like, it was just, communication was horrible. Oh my God, it was really bad. So we had a little separation part. No one really knows, but we did. We had like 2 weeks.
Can we keep that in, or do you want me to take it out?
That's fine. I mean, I asked Justin, I'm like, is anything a go? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. So, yeah. So we were about like 2 weeks off, and like the thing that brought us back, we were both like, because he had a weekend where he took the girls and I was by myself, and that was just horrible.
Like, I hate this.
Yes, I was just like, no. And then we were chit chatting still on text and whatever, and we both were just like, dude, it would kill me to see you with someone else. Like, we can't. We got to get this.
Yeah.
We got to align again. We got to start communicating, and we went to therapy. We did all the things, and still was pretty rough after a couple years. Just recently, like maybe the past 2 years, like we've
fully
been,
back. Like,
yeah, fully back, just totally like in sync.
Awesome.
Like with communication, everything, and finally we're like understanding like how each other felt. Like back in the day, we'd be like, oh, whatever, you're such a baby, like fuck you, and you know, just all the horrible shit. And we got together when we were like 22, 23, so it's like we grew up together.
Yeah.
We were still finding ourselves and what we were as individuals, and then coming up together and raising a family. It was pretty rough at times, just trying to get on the same page.
Yeah. And you're still like at that age, like you're still like mentally developing. You know, I think until what, 25, right? Like is when supposedly your brain is finally fully developed. You have like full control of impulse control at 25, you know, all this stuff. And it's like,
I think it's later, seriously, like, because we got married at 25, and even then, like, we were still, I felt like we were still kids. Like, I think about it, I'm just like, God, we were so young, getting married at 25. Like, all my other friends were partying still, having the best time, and I was married with a husband and figuring shit out, and
you had to grab his ass. It just started all of it, you know?
Yep.
You did this.
I did it. I know it's not my fault. But yeah, and another thing, Justin had always said, "Oh, I'm gonna live with someone before I marry them." Not with me.
Yeah.
Like old school Mexican family over here. I wasn't leaving until I was married, so that was another thing. It was just I had to learn how to live away from my parents. Never done that before.
Yeah.
It was hard the first couple of months. I was like crying and stuff like that, and it was just like, dude, this is weird.
It's such a big shift.
Yeah, so we grew up together, so it was just everything.
And also, I not to justify anything I did there. Not to justify anything, but like I guess I understand the mentality when things like kind of get rough of like, okay, well, let me just escape into music and the band and what I'm doing. Things like that. It's really easy to go like, well, this has been my constant, and this is where I put all my emotions. So you kind of lean heavier into it, and then I've definitely had relationships fall apart because I was like, hey, things aren't really working well between us, so I'm gonna put all my energy into that. I know, you know.
And that's what he was doing because he had just started with Codename. So he was like, oh, I gotta be on it and stuff, and they were booking and he was always gone. I'm just like, cool, I have these 3 little girls I have to take care of all the time, and one was an infant. Like, it wasn't the easiest time. So, but yeah, it was just a disconnect. We were just everywhere, both of us. That's when my postpartum really hit me hard with my last one, just because I would get anxiety just thinking, if I go anywhere with these babies, like, I'm outnumbered. If anyone was trying to grab a kid, what the hell do I do? So I had to definitely like make plans where if I'm gonna go grocery shopping, they're staying with Justin. Like, there's no way. I didn't feel comfortable going out alone with them. And
they're all like roughly 2 years apart from each other, right? So at that time, even the oldest wasn't old enough to, kind of help. So it was a big struggle, and just the depression. Like, for women, having kids is like no joke, because you don't think about, okay, childbirth is natural, but it's trauma to your body. So much trauma, and it just changes everything in you as a person, hormones, everything, and it's just a struggle to. And I think a big thing that they don't talk about is that, like, your body prioritizes keeping the baby alive, right? So it almost kind of like puts you second to the baby. So everything that's happening is got to be like 10 times heavier on you, you know, because your body's like, well, we're trying to maintain and build and preserve this life. So you'll be fine, you know?
Yeah. And then, and Justin definitely got resentful because my focus was only on the kids.
Right.
I couldn't focus on him. I was like, oh, sorry, fend for yourself. But that didn't work out for him, you know? He got resentful. And I'm like, there's only so much I can do. There's so much time and energy. Oh, it was rough when they were little. So rough.
That's what, three girls.
3 girls, yeah.
3 girls. That's karma for Justin. Every time like the homies have daughters, I'm like, I know.
I know what you're like.
I know what you did.
I know what you're like. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But he's
Like everybody has girls.
yeah.
Everybody has girls.
I remember I was at your guys' place once, and it was when the bathroom had, I think it was pink. It was just all pink. And I just remember videotaping it, sending it to my brother, because at the time my brother's girls were like 1 and 3. Like, they were like really young. I was like, but this is what you get to look forward to.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario throws a little wrench in my theory though, because he's a girl dad too, and probably wasn't as bad as the rest of us.
He wasn't always a pastor. He wasn't always a pastor.
Oh.
Just kidding. No, he was good. No, he's just blessed. He's just blessed 2 girls. But, yeah. Dude, going back to what you were saying about how like even just like the thought of going out alone, I haven't, like I don't think like that as a guy, to be like, oh, to be outnumbered. Like that's terrifying. To be, like you said, if something does happen, like,
Yeah.
you know, like what do you?
Yeah, I think we have this idea in our brain that like somebody comes after our kids, we're just gonna kung fu them and like.
Yeah.
But like when you have 3, and you got to defend all 3, that's a different story.
Yeah, and in car seats, and you know, it was just it gave me such bad anxiety.
So did you have like the triple stroller thing going on?
Yeah, pretty much. And one right there, and then one standing up. There we go.
Did you ever do the child leash?
Yep. No. My girls weren't that bad. But I understand it. I do, like, before I used to judge and be like, dude, these people, what?
I get it, but I'll never do it.
Yeah, I get it, though. There's some kids that are just runners,
off.
and there's nothing you can do. That's your only scenario. You have to.
I saw a video, somebody was walking with their kid, and they're like, just taking my little sperm out for a walk today. Like, all right, that's funny.
Yeah. No, I get it, though. Some kids, I'm just like, yeah, that's hard.
So when they have it tied to their belt is when I'm like, all right, you're doing too much.
Yeah. Elliot was one of those runners. He still kind of is, but like when he was way younger and he just wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Just bolt, and you're like,
yeah.
where are you going? Don't stop. Oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah, because when they're like 2, they don't give a shit.
They don't
They
care.
just go, you know? So I kind of understand it. But I never, luckily, had to do that.
No.
My girls were good. They listened. But it was weird because they all walked at 9 months. So they look like these puny little babies just walking around. It was so weird. It was so weird. I was like, oh my God, this looks awkward.
Just 3 little tiny Justins.
Yeah.
Going back to like the, you know, you said you guys kind of like, you guys had to like relearn almost like to communicate. What are some of like because you hear that in any relationship like that fails, they lost communication. What's something I guess maybe that you guys do now that you guys probably didn't do during that rough patch?
We listen and we don't try to tell each other how we're supposed to feel. Like that's like was the biggest thing. Like I would tell him like, dude, you hurt my feelings when you said this. Why? It doesn't even make sense. Why would you feel bad about it? I'm like, it doesn't matter. That's how it made me feel. Yeah. And so now with that, it's like, okay, you may not mean it this way, but it's making me feel this way. And he'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. That's not how, we just say, hey, think about it. You said this, that hurt my feelings. Can you understand it? And then he'll rethink. He's like, okay, I see your point. Mm-hmm. So we just go back and forth like that. Like, and the same thing with him. If I'm not meeting up to whatever he wants, and I have to really take the time to like, okay, he says he's feeling like this, so I need to change to make sure he's not feeling like that anymore. So.
And how much does that fight with the Latina personality that you have in your body?
It's a big struggle internally. Just because.
Well, I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah. Definitely my personality, my drive to fight. Yeah, mm-hmm. I had to tone that down a lot. Because, it just made things worse every time. So it's like, okay, I got to listen. I got to, do my part. He's doing his part. He's working on it. I got to do it too. So it's equal.
That's good.
And then with like the postpartum, mm-hmm. I know you said it hit hardest with the youngest. Did it hit with the other two, or was mm-hmm. it just not as intense? Or
no, it did. It was always there, but I think just the combo of us not being together and just having a very intense time, mm-hmm. it hit harder.
Yeah.
But the other two I definitely still had postpartum. It was just, first one, you're learning to be a parent and learning how to take care of a child. Mm-hmm. Second one was hard in the sense that now you have two, and this one's still young and doesn't understand that, okay, you gotta wait. Okay, I gotta attend to this one. And that was like the biggest thing I always tell all my friends, like, you just gotta take every day one day at a time, and just, this might be a shit day, the next day might be a okay day. You just gotta keep moving, and don't beat yourself up over a bad day, because it's just gonna kick yourself in the ass.
They happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From your three girls, do you see, like, I'm sure you guys see each other in both of them, but mm-hmm. is there one where you're like, that's me, or that's Justin?
Hayden, see, more mentally is like me. She suffers from anxiety, and that's how I was as a kid all the time. Like, mentally, I was just always like, oh my God, I'm scared. What's gonna happen? And Brooke's a little bit more like me too. Ileana, she's just everything. Oh my God, her personality. Well, I don't know. They're all kind of like Justin. Like, they're quick-witted like him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do they hurt your feelings?
Huh?
Do they hurt your feelings?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, damn. It's just like, dang, I got 3 of them or 4 of them all at once. Just with that quick wit, they're just like him in that way. And just emotionally, I think Ileana's more like him.
Yeah.
She's more strong. She's strong.
I kind of have a rule that, like, if you talk back to me, but it's like, it makes me laugh, you're not really going to be in trouble. Because that was pretty good.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
Like, if you talk shit to me, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not in trouble, but,
Yeah.
What if it's like wild, dude? Because my nieces have said some wild shit to like their parents and my mom.
Dude, I mean, apparently, me growing up, I said a ton of wild stuff, mm-hmm. and I would just make jokes that were inappropriate at all times. So I kind of respect it. I guess it depends on how wild it is and like this scenario that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had have said this, but my niece told my mom, because my mom was like, talking about marriage, my youngest niece was like, I'm never getting married. Mm-hmm. So my mom was like, I'm gonna videotape you saying this, mm-hmm. and then I want to show it to you on your wedding day. Mm-hmm. And my niece starts laughing. She's like, no, you're not gonna be alive at my wedding.
Oh my God. Oh.
You're like,
Mom, you still with us?
Oh my God, that would break my heart. Wow.
Your mom's having one of those moments where like a flashbang just went off and all she hears is like ringing
right?
and everything else.
Oh, poor thing.
That's funny though.
They say the darndest things.
Yeah, they do.
But what's cool, I think, also is like, I feel like you get your girls now at the age where they can like go to shows and like they get it, like they get to see down on stage. Like that sounds awesome.
Yeah, more Brooke or Ileana and Hayden or Brooke. They love it. Hayden could give two shits. Hayden is always in her own world and she don't care.
Watch, something's gonna happen at some point. She'll be the one that's like about it. She'll have her own band.
Hopefully at some point. One of his last shows, she's all doing cartwheels and stuff right in front, like living her best life.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it was at the Union Barber show with Codename Burner State. Just both of them. They were just, I think even, they were making their own mosh pit or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. They were.
That's cool.
Yeah. The other day, Justin was, I forgot. Oh, we were with friends last night, and they all have boys and stuff, and they're like, do you guys think boys are, wild and crazy? Girls are just as the same. My girls, they're just burping contests and all that stuff. There's no difference when it comes to boys and girls. My girls always talk about, if someone tries to kidnap me, I'm going to kick him in the nards. And I'm going to kick him in the balls. And oh my God, they're hilarious. I'm just like, okay, girls, sure.
I love that they have that conversation.
Yeah. Stranger danger is getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no rules. If someone grabs you, you bite, you fucking you gouge, you do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's another thing, like Justin's has said, that he keeps in mind now around other women and how uncomfortable they can be around guys. Because think about it, like any man can be scary.
Yeah.
And so Justin's always like with parking lots and stuff like that, and he sees a woman by herself, he's always like keeping his distance just to make sure she feels comfortable. He said he's finally made that click after having girls.
Yeah. So I feel like having daughters is like it completely changes your thinking.
Yeah.
Because
in every way.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think about like, what are you showing them? What's okay?
Yeah.
For a male to be around you and everything like that. So
have you heard that John Mulaney joke where he's talking about how he was riding the subway and in New York it's pretty late and you'll be on the subway and sometimes it's empty, and he's like, there was one day I was standing there waiting for the train and this lady was waiting with me, and he's like, I don't know what she saw, but she freaked out and she started running. And he's like, and I wasn't going to question it, so I started running right along with her.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, and I'm running, and she starts running faster, so I start running faster. And he's like, and then I realized she was running away from me, and I was chasing her.
Oh, my God.
In New York in the subway at night.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, littlest thing.
I think for one of the things, I don't have kids, but nieces. I just learned to appreciate like tantrums in public, because I'm just like, if I see it happen, before I had nieces, I'd just be like, man, control your kid.
Yeah.
And then now, having nieces, I'm just like, for no reason at all, this could happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember one time all three of them were breaking down. I was at the grocery, or not the grocery store, I was somewhere, but I just had a laughing attack. That's how I dealt with it. The chaos of all three of them just screaming and crying. There's nothing I can do to like solve the problem, and I just started laughing, giggling, and like everyone's just like, help with this.
Who is this crazy person?
There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can make this better. So I'm just gonna freaking laugh. Like, this is my chaos. Enjoy.
this is my circus.
I always wonder if like the shit that we did as kids will just eventually come out in our kids later on.
Karma.
Yeah.
As I remember, like clearly remember, like hiding in clothes racks.
Yeah.
Where my parents couldn't find me, and then like
Piston coat clothes racks.
Same.
You did?
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
why?
They want to go to Russia, dude.
Why not? Oh my
Why
God.
not, dude? Little kid.
Yeah, and then I'll see like little kids like looking up the mannequins like
Yeah.
skirts or whatever, and I'm like,
Grabbing the boob.
yeah.
Your mom.
Oh, that's what they feel like.
It feels like a bag of sand.
It's not me, not growing up. My mom, oh my God, this was her. Oh my God, so traumatizing now that I think about it. She would, if we would go out with her, okay, you guys gotta stay next to me. Yeah. Do you want to end up like Adam? Adam Walsh. Adam Walsh. Well, Walsh. Where he got kidnapped at Sears and they couldn't find him but his head.
Well, I don't know about this.
It's the guy, John Walsh. He's the one that does American Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, his son.
Oh, fuck. I don't think maybe I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was in the 80s. He got abducted at Sears. He was playing a video game, got abducted at Sears, and they killed him, and all they could find was his head. And so that's what my mom would tell us. Like, you better stay next to me, or you're gonna end up like Adam.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's a very Latino thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Just terrorize your children.
Yes,
your
traumatize your child. And there's been times where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to tell my girls. I kind of want to, but then, nah.
Just put a little fear in their hearts, you know?
Yeah, just a little.
My
but
parents,
that's...
My parents said, see that guy right there? He's going to take you.
I had a weird moment. So yesterday I met up with Crime and Elliot in Elsinore, and I rode out on my bike, and something happened where she got into a little fight with Elliot, and Elliot like was being very, very mean to her. Mm-hmm. Like she was telling me what he was saying. I was like, oh, okay, unacceptable. Mm-hmm. But I'm on my bike, right, and I have Bluetooth in my helmet, so I'm like, I call her because I can't text.
Yeah.
And I'm like, put him on the phone. She's like, we're on speaker. I was like, no. Take me off speaker, put him on the phone. And so I'm like, kind of like low key yelling at him, telling him he needs to be respectful, but I'm on my motorcycle. It's like the weird, so I'm like, and you know what? It's so like, anybody that's riding by, I'm just like fucking punching the air while I'm on my bike.
He's listening to DMX.
It's like, this is unacceptable.
You stall. Fuck.
Yeah. And I'm on the freeway. I'm like,
that's scary.
So,
oh my gosh.
But it was just like in that, like, because like if you wait, like if I had waited the 20 minutes to drive there, like it's already out of his.
You would have calmed down.
Yeah. But it's like already out of his brain, so that I can't be like, and by the way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was. Sometimes you gotta put a little fear in their hearts. Maybe not tell them they're gonna be decapitated.
Yeah,
Sears,
exactly.
But I got like accidental trauma to certain things. Like my dad was just like, yeah, this is because I loved oldies. So this is Richie Valens, like awesome Mexican, Hispanic kid, but he was 16 years old when he died in a plane crash.
Yeah. So that's your fear of flying right there?
Is that why you don't like flying?
Yeah, in unrelated news, I have a fear of flying.
Yeah.
Every time you see a plane, Sansa and Johnny start playing.
I just hear was it Dreamwalker?
Yeah.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah. God, that was such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Really?
Yeah, and then I saw the movie, and then it just made it
10
times worse.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Trauma from parents.
It's good to have a little bit of trauma, right?
It's healthy.
A little bit. It's healthy.
Healthy, kind of keep you honest.
Yeah.
It helps you learn how to cope with life as it comes at you.
Yeah, and that's like how kind of me and Justin like parent, like we keep it real with our kids.
Yeah.
We're not gonna sugarcoat anything because it's not reality.
Yeah.
We want it to be reality. Like if I'm having a bad day and I freak out on them, like I always make a point to apologize to them and say, I'm sorry, we're humans. We're not perfect. Everyone has your bad days and you're allowed to have a bad day.
Yeah. Just
make sure you apologize after whatever you've done because, forgive. And you just got to learn, take accountability of your bad behavior, but also, ask for forgiveness for your bad behavior because no one's perfect. That's the biggest thing.
And that being said, during the time, like the small time you guys separated, did the kids realize that something was different?
No, they were little.
Okay.
Yeah, like Hayden was a baby.
Mm.
Yeah, so they were all really little. I don't think they remember it.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's kind of perfect timing if it was gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, you just gotta learn and grow, you know.
But I mean, I think that's a good indication of where your relationship is at. If even though you're separated, you're like, I still don't want to see you with anybody else. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I can't picture you being with somebody else. Because if you can and you're okay with it, that's probably
then
yeah.
You know, that's I like. I'm happy because I love you guys both. That you guys both were like real about that. Because you could have been shitty and been like, I don't care.
Oh, I'm stubborn as fuck. I'm like, I don't care. And then I'm like,
Don't marry me.
Yeah, no, that was, ugh, that grossed me out. Like, no.
you whore.
I'll find you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I wonder if my parent my parents never like fought or did anything in front of us like ever. Like I've seen them like disagree, and then it wasn't until like like as an adult where like I saw them like really disagree on something. But it was like if they had any problems, we like never saw it, which is good in the sense of like, okay, cool, I didn't see anything bad, but at the same time, it never taught me how to like resolve like conflict.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, like for me, like I hate conflict.
Yeah.
I'm super like passive with stuff like that. Like I really don't want to deal with shit when it comes to that. And I think it's because I never had that experience. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I was in a band. I'm like, I'm not getting what I want right now. Yeah.
How do I?
What is happening?
What do I do right now?
Oh, that pissed me off.
And now you're not only fighting with one person, you're fighting with like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think I learned one thing I learned with my band was like, and I think just in general, like pick your battles, like, and so I think it was really helpful for me because like I'd hear something and I'm like, I'm not passionate about that. Like I don't care about that, so I'll let them. I'll let them fight it out, and then whatever way this goes, I'm good. Until it's something that I was like, no, I don't want this. Then when I speak up, it carried more weight.
Yeah.
And I realized that when we had a music video, and like Jake was pissed because we were like,
oh yeah,
we were like, we don't want to release this video. And then I finally like jumped on the email. I like don't ever talk for anything, and I finally came out of nowhere, and I like finally gave my 2 cents. And then after the fact, Jake was just like, I knew you were pissed. You don't say shit. So.
To be fair though, you also like before the video was shot said, I don't want it to be about this.
Yeah.
And that's what they made.
And they made exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we already have a music video like that.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna have 2 videos doing the exact same thing. Like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that was like why in the beginning of our marriage, like it was so rough on us because we'd fight over the same thing. It was like a vicious cycle just because we didn't know how to. It was like, you know, no, we didn't know how to resolve it. It just kept coming back. And so, you know, once we had that separation, we're like, okay, let's regroup. Let's think about this. Okay, now let's work together.
It's, I mean, kind of like he said, like I'm stoked because obviously we love both of you guys, but like it's also telling of the relationship too, because nowadays it's so easy for people to just walk away, right? Like it's so simple for people to just go like, well, fine, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's like modern dating and relationships, like nobody really like sticks it out anymore. Like there's no like the second you hit like rough waters, it's like, okay, well, we're done.
Well, yeah.
What's the next best thing?
Yeah, let's
you know?
forget about it. Like,
yeah.
let's just move on. And it's like, no, we were in it, and it wasn't because we didn't love each other at all. So that was like the biggest thing. It was just we just couldn't communicate. We couldn't see each other. We couldn't, you know.
Yeah.
Just there was no connection, and just we were just mentally not there together, and so we had to just get back together.
Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the questions I have of like things that would come in like our group chat with Walking Blind, like especially with our friends who have kids and that dynamic. trying to think of how to word like a question of like some tips that you would give to like maybe a couple that is having a hard time like with communication, I guess. Like, what would you recommend, like doing therapy together, or would you recommend like date? Like, what's...
Yeah, definitely therapy was a good way for Justin to like hear, like, okay, she's saying this, I'm telling her you shouldn't feel this way, but who am I to tell you how you should be feeling, you know? So I kind of helped him realize, okay, I need to stop doing that. I need to stop saying, oh, why do you feel this way? Like, I didn't mean it that way. It's like, because I feel it. You can't tell me that my feelings are wrong.
Right.
Because that's the way I feel. So, and then me, I just had to, you know, listen to him too. Because he seems all like strong and everything, but he gets emotional. Like, he barely, like, for a long time, he was just hard as a rock, and like nothing shook him. And then finally, I think when we separated and we were about, you know, close to maybe not being together, like that, like really like hit him hard. That, okay,
Yeah.
let's figure this out. And, you know, and there was a lot of things I had to adjust to. It wasn't just him, it was me too. I was just so adamant of like being right when I didn't need to. Like, I had to do the same thing too. Just listen to him and hear what he had to say and how he was feeling.
Yeah.
With certain situations.
This sounds like a cop out, but like for men, especially in our generation, like that's kind of like how we were taught we had to be, right? Like, there's no, like, you know, you don't fucking cry, you don't fucking talk about your emotions, like you fucking bottle that shit up and you stuff it way down until you drink about it later, you know.
Well, dude, for me, like, it went to sports, because it's like, if you show your coach that you're hurt, then you're not gonna play.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Like, when you think about it, it's like thinking, like stepping away from
logically that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, it's like my knee's messed up.
Yeah.
He's like, well,
You
like,
should sit down.
Like, walk normal. They're gonna pull you out of the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, you're right.
Like, yeah, it's such a, and I feel like there are still a lot of times when I like default to that setting. Even now, like, even after years of doing this show and like being able to be open about stuff, like there are still times when I'm like, well, I'm not talking about this because it just won't benefit me to talk about it. And I think that there's still a weird stigma in relationships too, to where like, and this is not like an all women type thing, but like, you know, you will be vulnerable for a second, and then somewhere down the line that moment that you had, you're vulnerable, will be thrown back in your face. So it's almost like, well, why would I even do this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And to be honest, that's how I was at sometimes. Like, he'd be really vulnerable, and I'd be like,
yeah,
why are you acting like that? You know? So I had to learn too that, like, no, these are his feelings. Listen to them. Pay attention and do better.
Yeah.
You know? Because, you know, growing up seeing my parents, I didn't really see too much affection and stuff like that. So it's like, I sometimes felt like I was the guy in the relationship. I'm like, what? Like, come on, get over that, you know? But that's where I had to learn. I'm like, no, he has feelings too. They're valid, and listen and let him be vulnerable. It was hard to like really get that, like, okay, yeah, he's a guy, but he deserved his time too.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that.
Yeah. It's like women need to feel loved, guys need to feel respected.
Yeah. And loved.
And loved, yeah.
Guys, that's another thing I had to learn. Like, you know, his love language, I had to attend to that. Because I grew up with, like, my parents didn't really, like, were lovey-dovey or anything like that. So I didn't expect my marriage to be like that.
To look like that.
Yeah, and that's Justin's love language, is touch.
Yeah.
Mine's act of service. So it was two different, and we both had to learn. Okay, she feels appreciated when I'm helping her. He feels appreciated when I'm giving him touches and making him feel wanted.
Yeah. It's huge. And it's a weird dynamic too when it's like you guys have opposite love languages and you understand what the love language of the other person is, but you're having a hard time performing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like such a like it's almost like, well, that's not how I operate, so why should I do that?
Yeah.
You know, but then that's when it comes to that point of like, oh, well, this relationship, it's like relationships aren't always 50-50. You know, like it maybe in the long run in scale, yes, it's 50-50, but not every day is going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge thing that people, including myself, like struggle with, you know? And yeah, it's just like I've dated somebody who like, I'm the same way, like physical touch and like quality time are like, you know, my top on the list. And then for them, it's like physical touch is like not even on the fucking scale, you know? So it's like, like just like a pinky on like, and you're like, well, I guess.
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah.
Like words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think something like you're talking about, like having to win. Like I think for me that was not even just like in like any romantic relationship. I think it's just in life. I think that was helpful for me to realize like I don't have to win this argument, or if I win, what does it matter for this? Like, does this really matter? Is this really that important that I need to win this? I feel like that was for me like a big part of like my growth was realizing that I could be wrong, and then or I could just like it, or it just doesn't matter either way. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth like what this is like causing.
So you lost your competitive edge, and then you met Jordan.
I know, Jordan. I just gave up.
You just gave up.
Gave up.
That's you're right. 2 + 2 is 5. Yeah, it is.
Dude, we had one of those moments where I was just like, that's why she's my fucking wife. I was telling her how like it was like recently where we like we send voice texts to each other. That's how we talk. And so I had sent her something in the morning. She didn't respond to it. And then she had sent me something that I didn't respond to because I didn't get it because I think it was my phone that was messing up. And so our phones were fucking up. And I just said something like, I was like, see these fucking phones, like whatever. Because then like later in the evening I got all the messages. And she like responded. She's like, but yet somehow we were able to make a perfect phone call in the 60s to the moon. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also love that we were able to have somebody standing on the moon filming them leaving.
Yeah. You guys left the cameraman?
Yeah. Just leave him there.
Leave him there, dude. Fuck that guy. First guy to walk on the moon, nothing. You don't give him anything. And it's like, no, they were able to remotely control it. I was like, oh, okay. That technology was solid in the 60s. And you knew it would work on the moon. Got it. Okay. Maybe we went, though. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we went to the moon, guys.
Maybe.
Conspiracy corner with Mike Perez.
What's funny is the question that we got from your husband was, he's like, ask her about how we started dating. I think Justin just wanted everyone to know that you grabbed his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a victim in this.
Yeah. I know. I had to tell when the girls finally heard the story. I'm like, you can't do that now. You could get arrested for that now.
You can't do that.
Like, you cannot do that. So don't do that.
Oh man,
That's how they used to do it back then.
Yep. Back in the day.
I always
now.
I always think about like raising a kid. I mean, right now, like we had this conversation off like camera, but like it's so expensive right now to raise a kid, right? Like we're all just trying to get by, and just now you have mouths to feed.
Yeah.
And like you, not only that, you have to like mold their brains and hope that they're gonna be like good humans, right? But like, what is the thought process for, you know, like from your perspective for a parent, especially in the time that we're in right now, where like legit, like the world is burning, people are at war, like there's like all this crazy ICE shit going on, there's a wild ass president in office, like what, like everything is just so like
Scary.
upside down. Like how do you expose your kids to the world but still like kind of keep them like on a good path and like just hope that they develop well.
When we got engaged, I had a moment where I'm like, I don't want kids. I have a feeling like this world's gonna go to shit. I'm like, I don't really want kids. And Justin's like, well, then we're not getting married. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Well, damn.
Fine.
When you put it like
we'll
that.
have kids. But anyways, yeah, it's just, it's scary to think about. And they know a little bit. They see a little bit. We try to keep them away from the social media stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Like, me and Justin were like, we're just fortunate we're in California, because if we were anywhere else, it'd be bad news having daughters.
Yeah. I mean, it's still wild here, but
but still.
Yeah.
And luckily, we're in our own little bubble. Like, their dance studio is like 5 minutes from our house. We just go there. They go to school. Well, they're not in school anymore right now. But, school, dance, home. Like, that's pretty much all we do. Yeah. And then go out with friends and stuff here and there. But, yeah, we actually were in LA during all the protesting. We went to Universal Studios, and we saw everyone like walking and stuff like that. And like my Brookie, she's like the little white girl of our girls, because she's blonde hair, they're light skinned, but she's like, yeah, let's go. Like, oh, she's like, why'd you roll down my window? I want to show support. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I love you. That. So they get what's been happening. We try to explain, like, this is what's happening. It's pretty wrong, and hopefully somehow it gets better. But
because it's like, how do you explain it to them without it, like, one, scaring them?
Yeah.
And then,
well, you and I, like, we were voice messaging each other back and forth the other day, just because
he doesn't like to do it, but I get him every now and then.
But like with like the shit going on, it's like, and you see the posts too, where it's like, oh, so you're telling me like masked men are gonna jump out of a van and go abduct somebody and throw them in the van, and I'm just supposed to do nothing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just supposed to sit there and go, that person just got kidnapped off the street. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking insane. Like, it's insane to think about. And kids too. Like,
kids. Yeah, it's...
How do you explain to, like, my little brown 5-year-old that, like, hey, somebody might grab you just because you're brown?
And these guys are all, like, disguised. And I told Justin, I'm like, dude, what if these are, like, KKK guys and just grabbing whoever?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no ID. They don't have to show anything. Like, I don't understand it. And it's just scary because it's, like, lawless.
Yeah. Where was it that was it the senators got shot? Somebody walked up with ICE badges and just shot these like lawmakers.
Yeah.
The ones in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. They were dressed up as ICE.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I'm pretty sure it was ICE. It's some sort of enforcement agency.
Yeah.
They walked up like they were part of one of these agencies and then just like smoked them. And that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you can buy an ICE patch on Amazon. Don't get any ideas.
That's scary.
Go see your friends.
It's just
$1,000 though.
That's, and the fact that there's even a bounty, that's insane too. Like
we were talking about this because I didn't know that. I didn't know that if you report someone, you get $1,000.
Yeah. There's like a bounty on if it's like $1,000 for illegal immigrants. Like there was a lady who had somebody in her Uber, and she was like, "Oh, you're undocumented. I'm gonna take you. You can either pay me $1,000 or I'm gonna take you and get that $1,000." It locked him in her car, and videoed it like it was cool, like it was a cool thing. That's fucked up, dude.
So fucked up. Oh my god.
Like, we live in an age of media. Like, we have a whole, we have cameras, all this stuff to spread information quickly. And I was saying, like, back in the 30s, 40s, it's like it could have been like that too, like the incentives, because we talk about how, like, oh, the Germans were monsters and they're doing all this stuff. It's like some of these people, like, Germany was a broken nation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you tell them, like, hey, you can get a reward, I don't know if that's what they were doing, but, like, incentivizing people back then, like, there's no news spreading about that. So if you were quiet about it, like nobody would know. You could like wipe out a whole neighborhood, and if if there's no communication, no one's gonna know.
It's like you could report your neighbor's house and get like $6,000.
Oh my god.
Like that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like it's, and for what?
Taking away somebody's opportunity.
I just don't get it. I don't get people who voted that way, and like, how can you not see that he's full of bullshit? He's doing exactly the opposite of what he's supposed to.
Yeah, and
It's scary.
And going back to like the kids, it's like you can keep them off social media. You can keep them. You can keep them off, like kind of shield them from some of the stuff going on. And then they go to school, and then there's kids there whose parents don't give a fuck, or whose parents teach their kids to be also shitty and to like have that mentality. And it's like you just have to like hope and pray that you're setting the best example that you can for your kid.
Yeah.
And hope that they latch onto that and accept that. It's such a weird time. Like,
Yeah, it's very scary.
I mean,
because you were saying they got some of your Russian.
yeah, dude. So I'm doing trucking school right now. Trying to get my commercial driver's license, and there's 2 locations at the school of like the company that I'm going through, and the other location had a raid, and it's like, because a lot of the drivers are mostly Russian and like Mexicans, so basically Hispanics, like, and so.
They took everyone?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody was taken at that location, but like a lot of guys, they got raided, and a lot of guys, like didn't show up. Like they're like canceling for the week. So
My the guys that take care of like my uncle's property, like the landscapers, they just left a note like, hey, we're pausing for a little bit because it's just it's dangerous out here, like
dude, our taco spot, guys.
This is first world problems.
I felt it. Dude, when I felt it, I was like,
Oh
no.
Dude, they got
They're back though. They're back.
the San Bernardino Home Depot yesterday.
Yeah.
And they got some people at the San Bernardino Home Depot. And it's like, dude, you are targeting places that like, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was asking Justin, I'm like, how do they have a list? He's like, no, they're just grabbing people who are not white.
Yeah, anybody who's not white, and like people are getting detained, and like even citizens, like just because walking while brown, huh? Did you get stopped?
I got stopped.
Did you?
No.
Yeah, but it was like very quick. I was at the store, and they pulled me, and they go, "Hey!" And then
you were bigger than the fucking
Like I could throw you.
I think it's because they saw this side of their arm or tattoo or something, but they just grabbed me and they're like, "Oh wait, never mind," and walked away.
Dude, I saw I like and obviously, at this point anybody can post anything online. So you don't know what's real, what's not, or whatever, but you just kind of hope that like you're helping the community by like reposting things that you see, like ICE here, whatever, right? But there was a post that I saw that said that like LA gangs are like temporarily coming to a truce, so that they can escort people in their neighborhood to immigration court because ICE isn't fucking with the gangs.
Wow.
So
Right.
The ones that they're scared of.
Yeah, it's like
The ones that they know will shoot back.
Yeah.
So let's go after the people who are not a
Who
threat.
won't?
It's crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, you guys want to talk about mental health now? Our mental health check, where we like to check in weekly, see where we're at mentally. That way, if things are going well, what is going on in our life that is keeping us in a good place, and if things aren't going so well, what is going on that is keeping us in a funk. So, Jay, where are you at?
I'm okay. I mean, I have my days. Summer just started, so having the girls 24/7, It can get tiresome, but they're busy, so it's good. We're still prepping for nationals that we have in a couple weeks, and they're competitive dancers, so we're
All three of them, right?
all three of them.
Sorry, yeah, side note, totally to derail this mental health check, but I meant to ask you, so how did the kids get involved in dance? Were you into dance before, or was this something that they got into and you just kind of...
Yeah, Justin was.
Yeah, Justin was a competitive dancer.
Actually, he was part of that Young Americans things where they did the singing and dancing deal. He did a little bit of that.
Like the dudes that like dance and they're like, don't vape.
Yeah,
Vaping's bad for you.
they had performances. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, a lot of like entertainment people go through that kind of that school. So he did a little bit of that.
Hey, Justin, that's really cool. So cool you did that.
But no, I was a cheerleader just because I always wanted to dance, but 5 siblings, and I just kind of went along with was easiest for my parents. I had 2 older brothers, so I did, they did football, so I did cheerleading. So
Just all in one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I always had guilt because there were so many of us, and I just didn't want to put another task on.
How many?
There's 5 of us.
And where were you in the hierarchy of siblings?
Second to last. So both my parents got married before, had children.
Mm-hmm.
Both got divorced, got together, and then had my brother, me, and my younger sister.
Okay.
So big blended family, and yeah, it was just I always felt bad, and plus my dad did a lot of traveling, so it was always just my mom. So I just like, okay, I'll just go along with whatever the family's doing, and always felt bad, like I didn't want to put more burden on them.
Yeah.
So so with dancing, I was like looking for these little whatever dance places, and they were so far away, like down. So I'm like, okay, I guess we can do this once a week. And then as I was driving back after checking out a dance studio, I saw a sign, K2 Dance Studios. I'm like, huh. And I looked it up, and it was right behind our house.
Oh, wow.
I was like, shoot, right here. Forget that place.
Yeah.
I have one right down the street. So we started going there. They were all babies. Like, literally, Hayden was in diapers when we started there. And just little by little, they always had a comp team. And they were just, growing as a business. And Ileana had her first year with them. I've been doing it since. Like, because she was a pretty good softball player. She was doing t-ball and stuff, and she was really good. She had a really good arm. But we're like, okay, well, this is more of a commitment. You got to train. You got to get better and, do your competitions. We don't know what this world is like. And so we're like, okay, let's dip our toe in. And now we're fully in.
Yeah.
Dang.
There's
And
no
like
going on.
you worked there too,
yeah,
right?
no, I worked there. Yeah, I had
So-
asked the owner a while, like even before then, like when we first started, I'm like, hey, I have accounting experience. Like if you ever need help, she's like, oh yeah. But I had my little girls, like
Yeah.
I didn't really have. She's like, you didn't have time for that. And so once the girls got older, they're like, okay, you can go ahead and help us out.
You're like, look,
Cool.
I'm here all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it works out.
I love that because I know what baseball is for Justin, for you too. I love that he's like, well, this is like what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he's full on lead
Dance
prop dad. So he organized, and he has first couple years, their dads, they weren't helping at all, and it was just such a hassle just to get help to because they have big props like a few stairs, pianos, and all this stuff. And then this last year, it was a good group of dads that were all in. Like, they were just like, they're cool. Like, actually, one of them works at the same company as Justin. So they
cool.
got
That's
in.
cool.
And then one's like, he was a musician and stuff. So they connected and stuff. So it's a good group of people now. Like, finally, it's like, okay, we're all tight. And Justin coordinates it every comp. He knows which groups, what times, what days. And he has his chats with the dads. And they all rally together.
When's the Dance Dad record dropping?
Right?
The DDR,
Right.
if you will.
Oh my god, they'd love that. Oh my gosh. But
Dance Dad Mafia.
yeah,
That'd be
that's a
so
good
sick.
one. That'd be a good one. Oh, Justin will so do it. He'll so do it.
Make shirts.
Yeah, right.
Dude. Justin, take it.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a shirt.
But yeah, he's always just like, it's my thing. It's what my girls love, so I'm all about it. I'm
I
all
love
the way
that.
in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, back to your mental health check. Sorry.
Oh, mental health. Yeah, just like, yeah, just focusing on the kids and taking care of them. Ileana's about to be in 8th grade. It's nuts.
That's
But it's fun because me and her can relate more. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just about life and stuff. Like, I remember what it's like.
Do you find that like because you've been so honest with them that they like really do take what you say? Like,
What was it? I said something to them, and one of them repeated it, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're listening!"
Yeah.
Yes, like they're really taking it in. So, yeah, I just like we were talking about like when the girls start dating and stuff like that, and like one of the dance instructors saying like, "Oh, I wasn't allowed to date till I was 16, so I always had secret boyfriends." I'm like, see, that's what me and Justin don't want. If our girls are gonna start dating, we want them to feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, I have a boyfriend. Okay, cool. You know, no big deal. We know boyfriends start happening and stuff, and we just don't want you to feel like scared to let us know about anything."
And I mean, you know, if you guys do need a bunch of just like tattooed heavy dudes to sit in the garage
All right.
and be there when the girls start dating, you know,
Yeah.
we'll be there. Yeah. What was that 50 Cent movie?
Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves, where
Samoans.
yeah, the dude's daughter the dude's daughter is about to go on a date, and so I think is it 50 Cent or is it the other guy?
No, it's 50 Cent talking to the kid, and he brings him into the garage.
So he's walking with him. He's like, "Listen, like, you know, you're taking my daughter out. She's now your responsibility for tonight." And he walks him in the garage, and there's just like 25 like Samoan dudes and big ass like black dudes, like they're like lifting weights and
Oh
like.
my god.
And he's like, "You see, because like these dudes right here, these are family." So, you know, we might not be that scary, but if you need us to like at least kind of look scary, we'll be there.
Yeah,
you know?
Justin will definitely call you guys.
Just sit with a shotgun, you know.
It's pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, it's pointed down. Perez just looking down the barrel of a pistol.
I think there's something in there.
You see this? You see that?
what are some of your what are like some of your go-tos to like get yourself, like if you've had like you're having like a rough day or rough couple days, like what's something that usually gets you back on track?
Listening to music, that's usually a go-to. But if I have time, yeah, this is something I wanted to share. Like for women, like I have my girlfriends, my best friends since junior high that I see. We don't see each other often, but when we do, man, it's such a reset. And so that's like, I know a lot of women like lose that part of their life because they're so busy. And that's one of my more important things is like, I have to see my friends because love Justin. He's my number one. He's my rock. He's my everything. And he sometimes gets kind of jealous when I'm like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. And he's like, well, why aren't the husbands ever invited? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, the husbands, they all get along. Everything's cool when we all are able to go together. But when it's me and they're like family, man. They remind me of myself of before being a wife, before being a mother. It's just Dre.
Yeah.
When I'm with them, and it brings me back to who I was before. Because seriously, you get married, you have kids, everything changes, your whole life, and they just bring me back home. In that sense.
Still, DRE starts playing in the background, so hearing those pianos.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, like that's my biggest reset when I'm having a bad time. Like, let's all get together. Let's go have dinner. Just have dinner. That's it. Yeah. And that's the best rewind. And I feel bad because I know a lot of women don't keep that as a priority and like That's the best thing. It's to ground yourself back to where you were before. You don't have to worry about being a mom or a wife. You're
just shit faced, hammered drunk, and just
chit chat, gossip, all that.
Cheese man.
Yeah, the cheese man. And we get to vent about our lives.
Yeah.
Without judgment.
Yeah, it's just different than even if the husbands were there, no matter how cool they are, it's just different.
Yeah.
Why don't the husbands just hang when the girls go out?
Someone's
Yeah, they're with the kids.
Who has the biggest house? You all meet there and let the kids just fucking run free.
Yeah. But it's different with my friends because they all are barely having their kids now.
Oh, okay.
So my kids technically can be the babysitters.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Make them money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just need to learn how to change diapers. I don't think they want to do that.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
They'll get there.
I know, at some point.
Yeah, I think there's I guess the same thing like with when the boys all hang out, you know, it's like just getting the opportunity, like, it's not that your spouse isn't cool. Mm-hmm. Yours isn't. I'm just kidding. It's not that your spouse isn't cool. It's just like, okay, we got to have a little separation and just do something different, you know, and that's even just the littlest thing like that is,
Yeah.
you know, helps kind of level everything out.
Yeah. And like I said, it's like a reset. I feel good afterwards. I'm like, oh, I had the best time.
Yeah.
Just letting loose.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't have to have any hats on besides just be me.
Yeah, good.
Do you come home and the house is just in like pure chaos?
No.
Or is it?
No, that's when he really, my love language.
Yeah.
He wants to get some. He's like,
Yeah.
gotta have everything
She's gonna
picked
come
up.
home drunk, and
Yes.
it's gonna be awesome. So everything needs to, girls, you need to go to bed now.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, he knows.
Yeah.
He keeps it where I don't have to do any work when I get home.
That's awesome. Good for you, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Mike, where you at?
This week has actually, like, the past couple weeks have been a little like roller coaster up and down emotionally. Actually, I talked to Ryan about this, and then I fought with Ryan about this. I had like a moment where I was like really questioning like what I was doing, music and everything. Where I was, like with Torture Culture, we've been just kind of on hold because everybody's been super busy. Dan has been like super slammed between work and hockey, and he had the screen printing shop going and everything in it. And we like haven't sat down. We kind of all, I want to say we kind of all agreed, but I kind of threw it out there that like I don't want to play any more shows until we have new music out, and that because we're still playing songs from a 2021 release. Mm-hmm. It's 4 years later, and so when we all had that talk, things just kind of like stopped, and then nothing really happened, And like there's a part of me that like I miss being on stage, like fucking doing heavy shit, but at the same time, I don't want this band to be a situation where it's like one person just writing all the songs. Mm-hmm. Like I want it to be a band, And I've had like some moments where I'm like, well, maybe it's just time to like walk away, right? Like maybe it's time to just and this is like from just music in general, like even with Easy Out stuff. I'm not, but like, I mean, like just find somebody that can play guitar, like, but no. So I just like was having these moments of like, well, what are we really doing? Like, what do I want to do? Where's my head at? And like with the Easy Out stuff, like I was kind of telling Ryan, like, I love how technical everything is. I love these songs. It's like, but if I'm going to be that guy that just has to stand in one place and like just stare at my fretboard and like play, like, I don't think I'm going to have fun doing that. Like I want to be able to like move around and like fucking like headbang and stuff like that. And like, that was like one of the big reasons why I ended up picking up that new guitar with the Evertune in it. That way, like moving around like and shit like that, like even if I'm like bending notes and stuff, they're not gonna bend because of the Evertune, right? So there was just like this like moment of like, I guess like just trying to figure out like what I really wanted and what I wanted to do. Like even like, hey, podcast, music, work, all this stuff, like what's priority for me and like what I really want to do. And like I think I just needed to like talk it out with somebody, like kind of talk to Ryan about it, and like was just like throwing all this shit out there, and that kind of like put me back on track with things. So but it was just like a weird, like almost just like a, you know, like a seasonal depression where you're just kind of like, I'm just bummed about everything and I don't really know why, and I'm not sure what's gonna pull me out of this funk, or like, you know, what I can do. And like, you know, like I went to my default and I just spent a lot of time just like sitting in the garage, like working on stuff, like wrenching on the bike. Like I pulled the old engine for this bike that's sitting in the corner over here out of the fucking bin and started like messing with that, and immediately realized how fucked it was and why I put it away in the first place. So now it's just like a giant paperweight like sitting in the garage. Yeah, it's just like trying to just like figure out what it was that was like causing that funk, and like trying to figure out how to pull myself out of it, you know. And like still I don't know what caused it.
About it though, getting that out.
Yeah.
So you get to hear it.
Yeah.
Because everything lives in your head, so you just hear it so many different ways. So when you finally speak it out, there's something about like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel.
And I even I talked to Dan too, and I was like, hey man, like you know, this is how I feel about torture culture. Like I love all of you guys. Like I love playing with all you guys. Shit, like half of this band is in all the other bands that I'm playing in, you know, like, but you know, this is how I feel. And Dan was kind of like, look, dude, like I'm in the same boat as you. He's like, I know my schedule's been crazy, and I know that like you guys are kind of just waiting on me. And I was like, dude, I felt like just walking away for a little bit. He's like, that's when he told me, he's like, I kind of felt the same way too, because I didn't want to stop you guys from doing this. And so it was just like, all right, well, let's fucking just get together and like jam out some songs and figure some shit out. So he's supposed to come over tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But even just that little thing, like having the conversation and like not like letting it just, because for like a week, that's all it did was just sit in my brain, and it just felt like when all you're doing is thinking about it, you're going to focus on all the negative aspects of it. You know, like all the shit that like you're not happy with. They're going to be like fucking like 10 times louder in your brain, because, you know, like, let's not think about the cool shit. Like, let's think about the things that you're stressed out about, you know? So I feel like past few days, like I'm good now, but like pretty much like since the last episode that we did, I've just been kind of like in this weird like funk that I don't know what caused it. Don't really know like why. Maybe might be the heat. I don't know. And so now I feel good now. Like I'm just like resetting and kind of getting back on track with stuff. But yeah, it was just a little midlife crisis for like a week and a half.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
What about you, Michael?
This week was just really busy for me, and like, cause my work lately, it's been like, it's like physical, and so, which is fine, cause you know, whatever, like I'm tired, but like I've been doing this whole week, pretty much every day I went to my driving school, my trucking school, and so it was like the mental, cause now it's like, now I'm like I was like starting to put everything all together this week, cause like it's a lot of stuff. It's like basically like 6 different tests that I have to do. There's like an air brake system, there's the in-cab system, there's the pre-trip, which is like the whole truck, name everything, and then there's like the aspect of the driving side of it. Then I have to do like maneuvers, and then there's the actual driving test that I have to go and do. So there's all these little things, and so this week was the week where it was like like basically like, okay, I'm gonna be ready to test for this, and I went to test on Friday. I went to the DMV, and I failed.
Oh.
Failed my first one.
It's like that sometimes, man.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of super gut wrenching because the day before I finally, because it's like a bunch of stuff. It's a whole list of things. I like remember what to say, what they are. I have to know what they are if they ask about it. And like I have zero background in cars. Like truck is even more like over my head.
Yeah.
So I had to like learn all this shit. And so on Thursday I like came in and I was just like on fire. Like I just like was saying everything right. I knew everything. And my guys, I guess, apparently were telling the main teacher, like, hey, he's ready. And so they're going to try to get me to go on Thursday to go take the test. And I was like, fuck, like, I'm not, like, I did this once good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they're like, no, like, you got it. So then they had me go on Friday, came to the yard. They had me run through everything. They're like, dude, you got it. Like, this, you're perfect. And then I went, and I took my test, and I was just, like, so freaking nervous.
Yeah.
You got in your own head.
I got in my own head. I did a
Yeah.
mistake. Because, like, the thing that's like a bummer about it was, like, so for that kind of test, like, at any point, because there's, like, steps you have to do. At any point, if you feel like you've messed up, until you say, this concludes the test, or this concludes this section, then that's it. But until I say that, I can get to the very last step and be like, I don't feel good about this. Can I start over? And they'll say yes. And I can do as many start overs as I want, pretty much. And so I should have done that because one of the first things called the air leakage test. It's really long and stupid, but basically it's when you just hold the brake down and you see how much air pressure is left. Well, every single time I've done this, even like it's like uncomfortable. So I you can put your foot on the brake. And for me, the other time, like I'll as soon as I put my foot down, I'm like, oh fuck, that's not comfortable. And I have to hold it for at least a minute until like I'll just like adjust or I'll do something. I think I've just been so used to like, that's not comfortable, so I'm gonna move. I didn't realize I lost pressure when I took my foot off. And so when that happened, my gauge changed. And because my gauge changed, anything after that was not accurate because it was no longer what it needed to be. So I failed because of that. So I went through the whole.
Just that? That's the only thing?
Man.
So there's like no margin for error on this test.
Not really. There's like little things you can kind of like, as long as you like explain like what it is, like, but like with that I couldn't because it wasn't an accurate read of my pressure.
But at least you know where you failed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you know what caused it. It's not like you're going into this like, I don't even know what I did that fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and I should have been able to like realize like that I did lose pressure and you've been like, hey, I need to start this over again. That's what I should have done. And yeah, so I didn't. So it was such a bummer because she's like, it's like, yeah, so this test is over. Like with the failure because of this. And I was like, fuck. So.
And you can't retake the test in the same day. You
No.
have to go back another day.
Yeah, so on Monday I'm gonna do it again, which I feel like really good because I feel like that was such a weird, dumb thing that I've never really had an issue with.
Not to stress you out, but that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I was ready to go like when it happened because it was on Friday, so I was thinking, I was like, can I do this again tomorrow? She's like, no. So, but anyway, so all I say was like so this week, it was just like I was like mentally drained this week. And then on top of like the physical side of it too, so I was just like beat all week, and so it was just like, it just felt like I just felt very tired this week. And then on was it Thursday night, like normally like Jordan and I have like a routine, like I'll come home, we eat, and then lately we've been watching like The Office. So like we'll eat, watch The Office, and go to bed. Well, I came home and I like said hi to her, and then I went to like lay down, and then I just didn't wake up. Like I slept the whole until I had to go to work, Friday, or go to class on Friday. So it was just so it's a busy week. Also too, it's just been hot because I'm like outside. Like Valencia is super hot. Like Santa Barbara's nice. Like it's still, that whole area is like a really nice area, but it was just like Santa Paula where the yard is at, where I have to like load and unload shit. it's just been hot. So I think that's why I was like kind of joking, but not really. It was like, is the heat making you think that way?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I even, now that you mentioned sleeping, like, so Tuesday night I went to the Dodger game with my dad and my cousin and her husband. And after the game, like, I drove home, couldn't really sleep. Like, I've been like in and out of insomnia like all the past couple weeks. And then Wednesday when I was working, I was like, I feel like my body's just shutting down. I mean, and I clocked out at 4:30, and I went and laid in my room, and I woke up at like 2, and I was hungry and like ate cereal, and then I just went back to bed, and I woke up for work the next day. Like, just this, that I don't sleep like that. But like my body was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
This is how tired I was. So on Thursday, as soon as I got in, Jordan's like, "Hey, let's go to Taco Bell," which is like, we don't go anymore. Like, I never get to go. And so she's like, "Let's go to Taco Bell for dinner." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I went. It's like knocked out. And then like I woke up like saying I woke up at like 11:30 or midnight, and I was just like, "Do you want to go to Taco Bell?" She's like, "No."
Yeah.
So yeah. So it was mentally. I think I was a little bit drained, mentally and physically. So I'm hoping that this week, I feel like things are gonna go better, and then I think that'll provide some at least relief from the mental side of it. Because physical side, that's whatever, I can do that. It's when like my brain is just too tired, then I can't really do anything. So
Yeah. I know the insomnia thing. I've been suffering from insomnia lately too, and that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I'm just like, I need the energy for the mornings with the kids and all that stuff.
The worst feeling too is like I'll go to bed tired. Like, all right, I'm ready to get, like I was on the couch watching TV and I'm starting to fall asleep, and then like I hit the bed and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, because I get Instagram Reels at 12 in the morning.
yeah. If anybody out there, if I flood your reels at like any time past like midnight, is because I have insomnia. And then if like during the day there's random spurts of like just a bunch of messages, I'm taking a shit.
Yeah.
Just sending. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So
I'm just not much of like a group chat person or text person.
You've been active.
So there's a chat. How long has Ellen DeGeneres been a thing?
Ellen DeGeneres.
What?
Years.
Years, right?
This group chat started with me, Andrew, Ty, and Mike years ago. Like I don't even know how it started or why it started, and then it like the most random nonsense shit gets sent on that particular one.
Yeah.
So we renamed it Ellen DeGenerates because I thought it was funny.
I blame my algorithm for some of the stuff on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad at times. There's just like a lot of like racism and a lot of like just dirty jokes and like there's just and usually the racism is sent by Ty, which makes it so much funnier. But then like so we've just had this, and like for like there was a stretch of like probably a solid year where Mike didn't say anything, didn't like anything, didn't send messages to it, to the point where we're like, why isn't Mike even on this? And then every now and then he'll just hit like one banger, and then we're like, that's why Mike's in this.
So for me, because I remember there's a time when I'm just like, they're gonna kick me out of the group, or like maybe I'm already out of the group, like, and then I like start, every now and then I'm like, this is funny, I'll send this to the guys, and like lately I'm just like. And so now it's like I like completely flipped. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna kick me out of the group for like
being too much,
sending too much shit now.
And the funniest part about the group chat is that like most of what I send there, I also send to Jesse. He's just not in the group chat.
Yeah. I thought you were in Ellen DeGeneres. That's why I started sending you stuff on my own now.
Yeah. So like, and it's like and there's also stuff like that. There's these weird little like. It's this dude thing. There's like these weird little pockets of like, we're all friends. I don't know why 2 of us are on this one and then 3 of us are on this one.
Yeah.
And then like all of us are on this one, but we send it to like all the separate ones.
There's one with Raw.
Yeah.
That He's not an illegal degenerate.
No.
Yeah. You gotta just combine.
Rawls on. You know what it is? I think it always ends up being that somebody else will start like a group chat that has a couple of us on it, and then we just roll with that one, and then somebody else will start one, and then we'll roll with that. It's
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, Justin has this weird thing though. Like he'll send me a bunch of videos or whatever, and then once I like one, he's like, "No, don't watch. I want to watch him with you." I'm like, God.
Dude,
so he wants to watch him
cool,
again.
though.
Oh
That's
my
cool.
God.
That's, you know what though? That's Jordan and I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we'll send. So when we started talking, I was on tour, and so when I was on tour, I'm on my phone all the time, and I was just like, okay, like so then she would send me stuff, so I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna send her shit. And part of it, I was just like, let's see how she responds to this. Let's see how she responds to that.
Yeah.
And so then like so we'd send each other a bunch of stuff. When I stopped touring, I don't do that. I like wasn't doing that anymore. And so she would like tell me like you don't look at my stuff. I'm like, well, I don't, like, I'm not checking it like that. And I would send her stuff. So like now we'll just like sit down and we'll go through whatever we sent to each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, but Justin just, no, don't watch it without me. I'm like, hey,
It's the reaction.
fine.
Yeah. I want to see your face when you watch
But
that.
sometimes they're just, I'm like, okay. He's just like, you don't think that's funny? I'm like, no. Not
Breaks our heart
really.
every time.
Yeah.
I feel I definitely, Jordan, I definitely go both get that from each other.
Yeah.
She'll show me something. I'm like, okay. And then I'll show her something. I'm like,
You're all waiting
she
for
doesn't even
that.
like react to it. She don't get it. I'm like, because we never went there. Why don't you understand that? Why don't you understand about that?
The worst, you have to like explain the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's because, he said this.
Yeah.
And then also too, we're realizing like we're like sending the same shit to each other and not realizing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like she'll show me something. I'm like, I sent that to you.
Yeah.
Or like she'll send it back to me. I'm like, I sent that.
Yeah.
That's how bad our Ellen DeGeneres one is that like 3 people will send the same video to the same chat,
thing.
and you're like,
I stopped sending your reels to Andrew.
yeah, that's probably a good move.
Yeah. I feel the same. Like if you send me something, I'm not gonna send it to Martin.
You know what's funny is like sometimes, so Andrew and I have been in our little gay relationship now that he lives here, and we watch Supernatural together.
Oh, okay.
because he's never watched it before, and I'm like, fuck it, this show rips. Watch it.
Really? I don't think I ever watched that.
I haven't watched it either.
It's
So good.
It's the best. It's the best corny monster hunting show ever. But so like we're watching, and like it first became like, hey, you should watch this. To like I would sit down for a couple episodes that I knew that like, oh, this was a good one, or this is a funny one, and then now we just watch it like a couple.
Oh
like,
my God.
we just like every night that we're free, we watch Supernatural, so it's bedtime.
Oh my God.
And so like there's some nights where like we'll watch this together, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting sleepy, and I'll go to bed, and then he'll go to bed, and then we're just sending each other from like one room away. We're like sending each other shit on Instagram. It's like, yeah, we're cute, man.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah.
That's one word.
It's 2020. It's 2025, man.
Yeah.
Accept it.
Okay.
It's like all the best part of the relationships except the sex.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Do you guys have a show? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Right now, we don't. We just finished Mindhunter on Netflix.
Miner's good.
So good. And they're supposed to, I guess they're writing a script for a movie.
Are they?
Yes. So I'm so
Is
excited.
that the one where like they're hunting Nazis?
No.
No, this is it's basically like they are the first people that established like behavioral health analysis
For serial
for
killers.
serial killers.
So
It's
good.
pretty cool.
Interesting.
It's like dark, and it's like
Yeah.
super vulgar, like set in that time. Dudes are
And they're like based on real serial killers
Yeah.
back then, like in the 70s and stuff like that. So good.
it's like it's basically how criminal profiling or how profiling became like a thing for
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's funny. Like normally, like if Jordan and I watch something at 10s, we'll like put something funny for like a palate cleanser. I feel like I need something for The Office.
Mindhunter's a good
I
one.
need some. Yeah, I need the opposite.
Yeah. Okay. Completely opposite vibes.
Yeah.
Were any of you guys Office? The Office.
Oh.
man?
Justin's in the middle of going through it. I'll watch here and there, but yeah, that's his thing right now. He's in the middle of The Office, first time.
Man, I can't stand Michael Scott.
No.
But you also love him at the same time. He has his moments where
He has his moments. He has a couple moments every now and then, but it's one of those things. Like I've had like moments where I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep watching this anymore.
How deep are you into it right now?
I think we're in season 5 or season 4.
Have you gotten to where they like get to know like the warehouse guys?
Yeah.
And, like, also,
Yeah.
Where that
So-
meme of like this is the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where like I actually have these moments where I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like I get too annoyed with like the Michael character, but then like they'll do shit and I laugh so fucking hard. The part where the H&R girl comes and they tell me that Kevin returns. I laugh so fucking hard at that. And, like he's there on a special needs or whatever thing, and then like and then they finally have like the blow up and Angela's like, yeah, she's like, you don't talk to him like that.
Have you season 5? Have they already done like where Jim gets replaced with another Jim?
No, not yet. I've seen those memes. Nah, last thing I saw was Michael just got bought out when he started his own company. That's where I'm at. You guys remember that time?
That show is I love that show. I feel like the storylines were really well written, but like there's just some standout characters in the show that just make you want to keep watching it. Like Dwight will always make me want to keep watching that show. So good.
Well, it's like because there's like so many like weird, dumb, unlikable characters, but then there's like Jim and Pam, and it's like they do such a good job with the relationship, and then like finally getting to that point, getting together. So that keeps me going. But then I'm like, dude, I was like, Michael Scott's he's so stupid. But then the warehouse dudes are all hilarious.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tell him all the fake slang. Anyway, sorry, I was curious.
No.
Just to show you guys are watching.
Yeah, that was our last one.
Mindhunter's good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think we were trying to start one. Which one? Oh, we went through Sinners. That was a good one. I like the first season.
Yeah.
What's Sinners? I've never heard of that.
Jessica Biel was the first one. Where
I think it's The Sinner. Right?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
Sinner.
The Sinner.
The Sinner.
It's so the series ended up being about like the cop that investigates, but like the first season's really good. Like Jessica Biel, like they're trying. I don't want to spoil anything. They're trying to solve a murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like it's really well done. It's like this like she's covered in blood and she doesn't know why.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened and there's no answers whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you guys have a TV in your bedroom, or do you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Picking jams.
Jams. All right, so we have a playlist that we no rules. Just what have you been jamming lately that has brought you joy?
Well, right now I'm listening to Sleeping with Sirens because we're gonna be seeing them. I think on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Nick invited us, so
Hell yeah.
that's gonna be fun. So I searched up their whole playlist, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to all the songs they're gonna play, so I know them. But a band that I recently discovered, like maybe a year ago, I was listening to Heidi and Frank. I listen to it every morning, and Bert Kreischer, that comedian guy, he's like, oh, you guys gotta listen to this band. They're called Red Clay Slays. He's like, he said, play this song, Wonder Why. I freaking fell in love with it. I was like, oh my god.
Nice.
So this band, I'm not a country fan at all. They're not country, they're more classic rock, but like Elvis.
Just like that
rock.
Americana
Yeah,
type.
like,
Cool.
and they're from Alabama. They're like Southern. They have some real countryish songs, but I love them. They have 2 albums, and we went and saw them in November.
Sick.
That crowd. Me and Justin were like, oh my god. Shit. We stuck out like sore thumbs, but oh my god. Had a little gummy, and oh my god, that night was amazing. It was so good.
I have always wanted to do like an Americana, like Southern rock type project. Just like classic rock influences, like a little twang to it. But I just never thought anybody would take me serious doing that type of band. But nowadays there's no more rules anymore. Yeah, sure, just fuck it.
Yeah. Well, Shabuzi, man.
Yeah, rips.
He's been. One of our friends had gone to see him live, and he said that he played the song twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He like played it, and he's like, that was fun. Let's do it again.
Wow.
Played it again.
People love it, dude.
Yeah.
We love that song. What about you, Mike?
The band's called Cake Eater.
Hell yeah.
Let's do In a Dream.
Cake Eater rips. Jesse?
We're gonna do Kubla Khan. It's gonna be. What's that over here? Oh, Darwinism. I think we already have that one on there.
Nope.
No. All right, cool.
I'm gonna kind of follow down this like folky vibe. There's this dude named Cameron Whitcomb. Song's called Bad Apple. It's pretty rad. He's got low key bars in this.
Did you find him on Instagram?
No. No, it was like he was like a random Spotify find, listening to a bunch of random shit. Yeah.
Jordan pulled up this like folk singer guy, and I was like, I'm gonna hate this. And so she like played it for me, and I was like, and then I was like listening to the lyrics. I was like, fuck, this actually looks good.
Yeah, he's like a younger dude who. It's funny because he's like he looks like he could hang out with us. Like he's all tatted up and stuff, but it's like a country folky type of like acoustic shit. But he was like apparently like a really big alcoholic and partier, and then now he just writes songs about how he used to party and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But that song, it's basically about like why is it that everything that like I enjoy doing could like really fuck me up. So, and like if you listen to the lyrics in that song, it's like I went from like cocaine and cigarettes to being vegan, basically. Like,
wow.
He's like, I can't even watch porn because it's bad for my wrist. Stuff like that.
So, that's hilarious.
Just talking about like how all the things he likes somehow are detrimental to him. So it's pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
You want to add one of your band's songs? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. No.
Well,
Mrs. Pickle.
I know. He's going to be happy. He's going to be happy I finally claimed it.
Oh,
It's
man.
going to be a good surprise for him.
Imagine you go home and your Instagram handles changed and everything.
Oh, no. I don't go that hard. Sorry.
Dre all day.
Yep.
Well, 154 episodes later, thank you for being so consistent with us. You've sent in some good questions over the years, and the years, that's crazy.
I know. How long has it been, really? Like
2 years, 3,
2?
2.5 years, probably.
Yeah, I think we're on year 3 at this point. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Made us so much money in the past 3 years.
Jesse's dressed so nice because of this podcast now.
Yeah, Jesse just
So
like
sharp.
changed his whole life. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know. You guys all had
What
life
a time.
changes.
Yeah. I got married because of this podcast.
One of my biggest regrets with this show. Well, thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks
finally,
for
after
having me. I
all
know.
this time.
Sorry, it took so long. got nervous.
Well, if you guys like what we do, like, comment, subscribe at Walking Blind Pod everywhere. WalkingBlindPod@gmail.com is the email address if you guys want to email us. We've had a couple funny emails of people reaching out that like
we're tempted to
have wanted to be guests on this show that I think that don't understand what type of show we actually do.
yeah.
So, you know, we might have some interesting guests coming on if we decide to pull the trigger.
Bestsellers want to be on our podcast.
Yeah, some
apparently.
New York Times bestsellers who have thought that it would be a good idea to appear on our show.
Really? That's exciting.
Once again, don't think they know what we actually do.
Yeah, I don't think they understand what the podcast is.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. Like, if we say yes to these people, like, it could be either really awesome because, like, either they know what we do and it would just be like a completely out of left field podcast for them to show up on, or they would not be in on the joke and it would make the episode
Really
way
awkward.
funnier. So awkward, but way funnier. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
That'd be
We'll
fun.
see. Yeah, we love you guys.
Okay.
See you guys soon. Peace.
No way to handle my aggression.